1974, 75, I moved into Powelton Village. And I had never, ever seen anyone with uncombed hair, dreadlocks. I remember turning into a corner on Pearl Street, and I went, oh my God, what the hell is that? And it was some brothers that were standing there, and one had the locks where they were coming out. You probably see that style in the book there. And it was like it was coming out the side of his head, this big, thick clump of hair. And then some of the locks was just beginning, and it was like, you know, it was completely uncombed hair. And wasn't twisted or anything. And like I said, I had never seen anything like that before in my life. And, you know, it was just, then I saw some of them, you know, not long after that, and their hair was down, and I used to call them mopheads on a corner. And little did I know that this was the MOVE organization that was on the corner. And for 2 years, I didn't like them because of what I read in the paper, that, you know, they didn't work, their children didn't go to school, and, you know, they just, you know, shunned everything in society.
I don't have to feel obligated to straighten and press and curl my hair to make it look like something other than what it is, to be satisfied with myself and to know who I am and what I am. You know, this system teaches you that the things that you should seek out, the things that will make you happy and make you somebody, fulfill you, is money and status and things like a certain kind of house, a certain kind of car, you know, a certain kind of credit cards, and being able to jet set all over. It's a lie.
Rapunzel lived with a man that, well, was very strict and didn't have a whole lot of patience. And he complained about the naps at the back of her head all the time. And Rapunzel's hair was just wore out. It had been dyed, fried, slicked to the side. It had been permed to death, chemically treated, dyed red, yellow, green, and orange. And her hair was tired. And Rapunzel listened to her hair. And she told her husband, no more. I'm going to a more natural look. And she cut her hair down to a soft fro. Rapunzel's husband wasn't going to have any part of it. And he locked her up high in a tower. And he said, until you decide to get that hair good looking for me, you'll be up there until that happens.
My name is Harold Wilson. I'm the 122nd exonerated death row prisoner in the U.S. and the 6th exonerated death row prisoner in Pennsylvania. You know, I spent 17 and a half years with homie Abu-Jamal in Pennsylvania's death row. I took up on the battle and fighting for our civil rights. And many times I was punished, placed in solitary confinement in extremely cold conditions. And at one point in time, I was put in a RHU cell, restricted housing unit. I searched this RHU cell, and I found pieces of a book. The book was called 10,000 Seasons. And it was about your African heritage. It was about the religion of Africans. It was about the wisdom and unity of life. Then it went to a section about the crown. Oh my God, the crown. And then it showed you pictures of all this beauty of locks and thousands of years of how lock was worn by men and women, and how they soldiered, and how the hair kept you warm, that you didn't need a hat, and how the hair of the lock generated the power and the energy that you needed when your enemies came to attack you. I mean, 10,000 Seasons was a gift of my ancestors.
When I decided to lock the first time, it was a journey of the mind. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And finally I went to this play at the Syracuse stage where one of the actors had these amazing red dyed dreads. Every time she would come out for a new scene, the dreads would be different. Whirled around her head, pulled up straight, over one side, ponytailed in 2 parts. I don't even remember what the play was about or what it was called. All I remember was this sister with these dreads. And I knew it was time. It was time for me to dress. And I began cutting. Snip, snip, snip. Feeling stronger with every cut. It was the time. My brother, my youngest brother, he's 15 years younger than I, walked through the room in the middle of one of my snips. And he began screaming. "Ah! What are you doing?" he said. "You're maiming yourself." As if I was axing off body parts.
I was told by my attorneys that they wanted to present me before a jury in a light favorable to the defense. In other words, to be accepted, that I had to cut my 7.5 year dreadlocks, and I had to make a decision before I started the new trial, before we came about to pick this new jury. Made the decision, cut my locks for my freedom, be able to hold my son and my daughter, who was 2 and 3 years old when I was arrested. I went to the police station, gave a statement, and I thought I was going to be able to, change my little baby's pampers. It was after 17.5 years. She ain't wearing pampers no more. I was released from the county prison, 9:30 at night. They gave me 65 cents a token for 17.5 years suffering. In the belly of the beast. Falsely accused of 3 counts of first-degree murder for my friends, Dorothea Swell, Cynthia Goins, and Tyrone Mason. And only by the grace of God and wisdom and the knowledge of my ancestors and the brothers who took me under their wings to show me how to survive on Pennsylvania's death row, in the dungeon of the dead, and with the voice of the voiceless, I stand here today as a revolutionary for equal justice and save the blood of the poor.